Ooh, I like it. We'll give you a cut of all the proceeds when we sell this video. Okay? Today's question is, Anthony, what's better, static stretching or dynamic stretching? So before we get into this question, it's been brought up a lot for people over the years. We have to make sure when we say something is better or worse, we need some context behind it. You can't just make a blanket statement all the time. And all because you say something is better does not mean the other one is necessarily bad. So it's not a good versus bad. It could just be really good versus not quite as good, but still good. So don't just throw the baby out in the bathwater here if we say one of these is worse than the other. Really, we encourage people to do more dynamic warm-up stretching than static stretching. We want to get your body moving. So there's a lot of benefits to just moving around. One is just motion. You can get better ranges of motion through your joints. You can start to integrate multiple things at once as far as parts of your body. You can even tie in maybe some core activation with some mobility. And so that's why we prefer the dynamic type warm-up movements. But static stretching isn't terrible. You can still do those, but I would say it's maybe better for when you have downtime. Maybe you're at home, you're watching TV, do some stretches. Maybe even after your workout, just do some stretches. But when you do your static stretching, we have to make sure we do it well. And that's probably another video for another day. But just make sure you're doing it with intention and you're thinking about what you're doing and you're just doing it properly. Dynamic warm-ups though, we like it because we can get a lot better range of motion. We can even hit different planes of motion in the stretch and kind of tie things together. Things we like to do, let's think about the body. We like to get some ankle mobility. And so we like to do the things that we've mentioned before on other videos where you are on the floor, flexing your feet in and out, standing up on your toes. Dynamic stretching, dynamic warm-ups, whatever you want to call it. What are some good things you can include in order to really kind of hit your body and get better stretches? Some things that we really like. One, especially, people all have tight hips. What's a dynamic stretch you can do for your hips? One we like is called side sitting, where you sit from side to side. We also like to add a little we call tall split kneeling, where you come up onto your knees, really get some good range of motion. And as you're doing that, you're really kind of making sure your core is working. You're working on tall posture. You're getting some blood flow, increasing your body temperature. So a lot of good things happening at once. A great one that we like is Spider-Man. And so a big step up, you take your foot, step it up to your hand, then you reach up to that ceiling, big reach, big stretch, then you bring it back down. Switch sides or keep it on the same side, wherever you want. That's getting good hip mobility as well as that is getting some good kind of shoulder, upper back, thoracic mobility, we call it. We like halos. Halos are a good movement where you can take them and, open your shoulders up, but again, work on posture. You can integrate your whole body, whether you're standing, whether you're kneeling, half kneeling, tons of ways to incorporate halos. And that's really just a taste of dynamic movement. You can go on Google and YouTube and find different warm-ups and stretches to do, but think about integrating movement. We want to teach you to move better, not just to sit in one spot and get more range of motion. Because if you just sit in one spot and get some range of motion, you may not be able to actually use that and transition from one position to another. Because it's in that transition, that's where life happens. And that's where you need to get good at, is changing from one position to another position. And just sitting there trying to touch your toes does not do that for you. So start to look up some more dynamic movements, dynamic stretches, and incorporate those into your warm-ups, even into your cool-downs, into your everyday life. Get up from your desk, incorporate these a little bit, get some motion, get some good blood flow. So, any questions, let us know. We're happy to help you out if you need some help and direction in what a good movement or stretch will be for you. Until that time, move better, train smarter. We'll see you next time.